Hey guys, we're going to do page 36. I really thought I just went through the whole page. Then I looked at the camera and realized I hadn't pressed record. Life is hard, is what I was just saying. All right, so on this page, there's a giant blue box at the top. So press pause to read all the stuff in the blue box. Great. So we've already done sharp, flat, natural. That's review. There's something new that's called a courtesy accidental, because it's a courtesy. To let you know, to remind you of your key signature. So in the example, they show you that you have F sharp and C sharp in your key signature, so assuming D major. And so the first note's going to be an F sharp because it's in the key signature. And then the next note, they have an accidental to tell you they want F natural. And then in the next measure, they didn't have to do the F sharp. They do it as a courtesy reminder, like, hey, in case you forgot, F sharps are in our key signature. So that's what that's for. All right. And then another cool word, chromatics. So if you think of like when you are coloring with color pencils and you do a chromatic, I have to ask my art friends about it, but when you're talking about chromaticism in art, it's like fading from one color. It's like an ombre, fading from one color to the next color type of thing. Not quite an ombre, because an ombre stays in the same color family. This would be going from like a pink to a peach to a yellow, like a sunrise or something like that. So in that, think about our half-step march with all the half steps. So chromatics for us just mean going from one half step to the next, a series of half steps after each other. So you can have a chromatic scale where you play like the D scale, but all the notes in between, which I think comes up later in the book. I hope so. If not, we will add it, because that's really kind of cool to be able to play all the notes from D to D. I think that's cool. Okay, so we're going to do half-step march. Because it's a march, I think that's a martelé bow stroke. And so we're going to have it's like that song Allegro, where we're going to have a fast bow with a stopped bow. So like that. So we're going to do half-step march just like that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Violins and violas, I would recommend fourth finger on the last A. So in the second measure, the first A, I'd play open, and then I would play fourth finger on the next A in measure 2. So the last note of measure 2, go ahead and put a 4 above that. All right. For basses, remember that you've got D, C sharp, C natural, then come back for B, A. And then you have G and F sharp, F natural, F sharp. Okay? All right, let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So on the notes for this week, hopefully you saw that we are not doing 142 and 143 from the book. They are nice tunes, and you are welcome to practice them. Or just play through them, YOLO them, however you want. Remember that you have access to Sound Innovations Online, SI Online, and so you can actually practice with those at any speed. Remember, they have the 70% speed, the 1% speed, 1.5, and the 2 times speed, so you can go really fast if you want or really slow if you want. So remember, you can practice those ways, and you should be able to see these lines plus the lines that I'm doing on SI Online and on Smart Music. So if you haven't been able to figure out how to get the pages that I've attached, then hopefully you'll see that you can get them other ways. But we are doing 142D because it has options, and I like options. 142D is the Old Bark Hut. I chose this one because I wanted to do a little bit more on the G string than what we've been doing, just to review G string notes, and it's kind of cool. It also has F natural, so it's reminding our violin friends and viola friends of our low 2 pattern on the D string. All right, so let's go ahead and name the notes in the Old Bark Hut. So we've got G, C, 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 D, E, 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 G, G, E, C, G, G, D, 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 E, F, 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 remember that our Fs are F naturals. So for cellos and bass, that means 2 fingers on the D string. For violins and violas, that means a low second finger. Let's look at not the last measure, because that's C, but let's look at the notes of the measure before, the penultimate measure, the measure before the end. So it starts on E, C, D, B. So it does a little jump around, which is really kind of cool. So go ahead and practice that with me. Ready? And E, C, D, B, and then we'll go C. So that's kind of a fun little turn there. I like that they did that. All right. We're going to go ahead and play Old Bar Cut. It does say Allegro. Let's play Moderato first, and then we'll play Allegro. 1, 2, 3. Strings and put on fresh rosin, but I won't do that during this video, but I'll do it before the next one. How about that? Okay, did you remember that your dotted half note gets 3 beats? I think most of you remembered, but I bet there's a couple of you that, oh yeah, there's a dot after that half note, it gets 3 beats. So I know some of us are still reading the letters we've written in, but don't forget to look at the rhythm that's written if you're still reading the notes that you've written in. So you need to start weaning yourself away and only write in what you need. You don't need to write in E on the D string, right? Or G on the D string. You know those notes. So only write in the notes that you're having troubles with, like the G string note, or that, like I said, that second to last measure, the penultimate measure. That one, maybe write that in because it's tricky. And so you want to write in the notes so you can think about what you're playing there. But if you're still writing in note names, you probably don't need to write in as much as you think you do. Okay? All right. It does say Allegro, so let's go Allegro. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's a fun one. Okay, 143. Again, I mean, the Morning Moon from Peer Gynt is super sweet. It's a lovely tune, and you could probably play it and go, oh yeah, I've heard that before. They use it a lot in cartoons when animals are like waking up. So you've probably heard it before. But I like options. So actually on what I've sent to you is we're going to do 143C called Liberty and 143F called Shaker Melody. I couldn't decide between the two, so I decided, let's just do both. So Liberty is a fun one. We'll play it through at a moderato tempo, and then we'll go ahead and play it fast. Violins and violas, you're going to have the low 2, high 2 dance. So you've got C naturals on the A string, but if you look at the second line at the end when you go to F, it's going to be an F sharp, so you're going to have a high 2. So yeah, super fun. Basses, I would go ahead and do that mini shift where you're in second position and you have 2 on B for the B, C, B, 2, 4, 1. Or 2, 4, 2, sorry, 2, 4, 2 for that. When you have that, I think that will help. And then you'll also have 1, 4, 1 for the C, D, C. All right, so let's go and play Liberty at a slow-ish, moderato-ish, andante-ish, somewhere around there. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Tricky spots, so if you need to take a closer look, I would pause the video and just look at the spots that are giving you tricks, which I think might be like measure 2 and then measure 4. Basses might have a little bit of trick with measure 3. So you're going to do a little pivot. So a pivot is where you keep, we've talked about this I think before. I'm getting all confused on the days of the weeks and what videos I've done for what kiddos. So a pivot is where you would move your hand, but not your thumb. So you could do that for that C. When you get there, so you have G, A, B, and then pivot C, E, C, E. So I know you can't see, but my thumb is actually not moving. So I'm not really shifting my whole hand. I'm just doing a little mini half shift, so a pivot. So for those of you that know basketball, pivot is where your foot stays on the ground, but the other foot can move around. So this is the foot that stays on the ground, and then everything else can move around. Okay? So that's what I would do on the bass for measure 143. All right, it does say Allegro, so let's try it Allegro. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fun. All right, 143 Shaker Melody. You've probably heard this song before. This was actually performed or arranged. This is a traditional folk song, an Appalachian folk song, as it says in the book. But it is a traditional folk song that has been used over years and years and years. You've probably recognized it. Something that's been used more recently in your lifetime was the Obama inauguration. John Williams had taken this and arranged it a little bit differently, but you'll still recognize it if you remember that. And if not, it's just kind of cool information that John Williams composed stuff for the inauguration of a president. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. So Shaker Melody, I'm going to yellow it. So if you need time to practice it, then press pause. I just realized this video is getting a little long. I'm a little chatty this morning. I need to have coffee to settle down probably. So if you need to take a look at it first, then press pause and then join me back in. All right, let's play. 1, 2, 3. I'm so sorry. I was thinking about I would shift there. I wouldn't play open A's. And violins and violas, you would play fourth finger A's there. Okay. I YOLO'd badly. Let's YOLO the right way this time. All right. If I shift, it's because it's what I think it should sound like. 1, and you can try it, cellos if you'd like, basses, whatever. Go for it. 1, 2, 3. So that is the end of the additional lines, and we've got one more song to do. We're going to YOLO it. It's Accidental Frere Jacques. They just take Frere Jacques, and on the second measures, they play F natural instead of F sharp. That's all it is. We've done Frere Jacques before. In fact, we did it where it looked harder to read. This looks so much easier to read. It's nice and big, spread out. So it should be easy. 1, 2, 3, 4.